Great piece. So we have breaking news. 3 American citizens have been charged and sentenced to death for a failed coup in Congo. And we all know about the politics of Congo. Right now, they have a failed state, given the fact that Rwanda has seized some of their assets and basically commuted it to transitional crime. And like this is kind of a parlay off that, because we see what's going on with Trump and we see what's going on with the 3 American men, right? American citizens don't necessarily have green cards, but they're American citizens, right? So we see what's going on with that. And this is what I have to say about that. This is what I have to say. Neo-Nazis in America, whether they be in Oregon, whether they be in Texas, whether they be in New Hampshire, Maine, whether they be Florida and Texas, whether they be in any of these places, New Mexico, Northern California, what you see is that whether a Democrat gets into office, whether a Republican gets into office, it doesn't matter to them because they know something. While Trump is in there right now, they know he's not going to do anything to benefit black people as a whole. Doesn't matter if he did something about the U.S. Department of Education and him revenuing that department. That's all he did, basically. It doesn't matter if he's talking about rechanging the African American Museum out there in D.C. Doesn't matter. He does things that benefits the society at whole. And if it benefits the society at whole, it's not going to benefit the 13% of black Americans. It's not. These men, they probably went over there to Rwanda to learn more about Paul Kagame staff and, learn more about their regime as far as it counts for carrying out internationalism. They disguise it as internationalism, but we really know it to mean, pan-Europeanism, so they went over there to find out about that, and they went to Congo. And you know what? Them being in Congo, right? They could have been giving guns to young people. They could have been paying older people to do, adults, right? They could have been paying adults to do unmindful things. You know what I mean? They could have been doing things like that. They could have been putting messages into the government of Congo that basically let the personnel know, the ministers, to let them know that we need to take action right now and see who these people are. So, while you feel sad that lives are about to be lost, you don't feel sad at the fact that, someone tried to come to your country and besiege it. You don't feel sorry about that. These men, they're you look at them, they look fully competent, right? They look fully competent. You don't go to a country and interject your politics because you feel as though you have the right nationalism. That's not the way to go about it. And you can see the African leaders, right? They're looking at these men like, do you know what you just tried to do? They're looking at these men like, if these cameras weren't on right now, they're looking at them just like that. And you don't want to be in a situation like that. You know what I mean? Because like, if the United States have to come over there and start talking about human rights abuses, like that's going to target the local people as well. Congolese are already going through it right now. You got the pygmies who were pushed out to Burkina Faso, and they were pushed out to Cameroon, and they get bullied, so it's like you're going over there to tell them what, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not talking about, how can we get these children backpacks? How can we get these children writing utensils? How can we get these children calculators, rulers? How can we get these children the things that they need for school? If you're not going over there talking about that, then they're going to look at you like you're committing heresy. And if you're committing heresy in these countries, like, it's not going to go over well. So this is what I have to say about, this news that just came up. This is breaking news. Don't feel guilty about the fact that the country is communicating a death sentence in that matter. You need to look at what's at stake. If this is international news, this means this is above national news, and this is above local news. Here in America, this is above that. So Americans are not supposed to go to another country and attempt a coup. That's not supposed to happen. So while local news outlets will push this news over and they're not going to cover it, the ICJ is accountable in this instance. The ICC is accountable in this instance, and also the UN. They're all accountable in this instance. You're not supposed to have intercontinental crimes being committed on the sea. You're not supposed to have that happening. Even though you may look at Congo as being landlocked, it's not supposed to happen. Because if you go overseas, it's an international crime. It doesn't matter what you do. It's an international crime. You're not supposed to go to China stealing stuff out the store, the designer clothes. Then go back to America and say things like, I might slide on you. Whoa, whoa. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. This is what makes Americans look bad. In the news, in other countries, this is what makes Americans look bad. I see Speed. He goes over there to China, and he understands that there's a high level of racism that's been undertoned in the people. And they don't even know necessarily that it's racism that they're saying and that they're spewing. But it's what they've been taught, right? Because you have English majors who go to these countries and teach English. So, you have to understand something. There's a large community in the world who is carrying out Nazism and fascism on a level that's kind of submerged towards the average thinking person. And, some of us are even targets of their operations. When you have someone like Tariq Nasheed, wherever he goes and he's, standing outside and he's getting ready to go into the museum and someone's taking picture shots of him and posting it onto the web, that's an issue. You know what I mean? That's an issue. So, this needs to be national news, and it's obvious. Eventually it's going to be, because it doesn't just make international news and not get coverage. But the way that these men are looking at them, it's crazy. They you see a level of disgust among them, and the way he's looking at them, he knows things that the media is not saying. If he doesn't come out and say it on his own platform, you won't know what these men were doing. So take a moment and kind of hold on to your kids and really steer them the right way, and let this be a lesson learned. Don't go to other countries starting trouble. Great peace, Yakoki.